happening, HC Nation? Hey, Zach Edwards here with Totally Medieval. That's right, this is a Whatever Wednesday, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing with Totally Medieval. So Totally Medieval, as I've told you before, is a math game where you can actually use people from different parts of history, such as the first set is going to be the Vikings versus the Knights Templar, and you're going to be able to compete and go through different territories, different terrain, as you meet together and battle, and where every move that you make is a mathematical equation. But at the same time, if you're learning adding and subtracting, great, you can do that. If your opponent is learning Algebra 1, they can do that. And it's just as fun, and you can play and you can play together. 1 second, I'll show you what we're doing right now to get the prototype ready. So in order to make the prototypes, we needed to buy a 3D printer. So this thing is really cool. It's a lot better than a lot of the 3D printers that you see that lay down all the material and do it piece by piece. This one actually heats up a resin, a liquid, with a UV laser. And then from that laser, it goes layer by layer to create what we have here. So these are just some of the figurines that we already printed for Totally Medieval. Now, one thing about these figurines is that they are clear because we received in the package, just to try it out, a free set of clear resin. But our sculptures will not be clear, and things like this, the sword being very limp, will not actually happen either. This is why we're prototyping them. This is why we're printing them out early, so we make sure that everything comes out exactly how we want it. And as you can see, there's still some repairs that we need to make. And when we print these, sometimes it doesn't come out as pretty as even these. Sometimes it comes out in a glob like that. That was actually supposed to be a Knights Templar on a horse. And I don't know where that went. But we can't see it because, as you can see from the 3D printer, it's actually covered by a case, so your eyes won't be hurt from the laser that's inside. And so as it's making it, you won't actually see this until it's probably halfway through, like 2 or 3 hours in, and then you can finally see if the figurine is starting to form, and you might have to pause it to check it out. Sometimes you might actually get where the figurine actually loses half of its torso. Again, I don't know what happened to this one. This is a Knights Templar. This guy then became this guy. So as you can see, there's still a few things that we need to do to repair this guy. And also, interesting enough, if you look underneath, you can actually see that those are supports. We had to put extra supports underneath them as they're building this resin to make this 3D print. They have to put supports underneath so it can continue to print upward. And we've broken off a ton of it. Here's one that's really interesting. Okay, so you check out this sculpture. Look behind it. Those are all of its supports. Because it has so much detail, it had to put all these supports. Now, when it's actually printed in with a mold, there will be no supports. They inject this resin into the mold, and so it doesn't need any supports because the mold is the support. And so it'll come out a lot better than this, but check out that detail. So, and these are actually low-res editions of these because my computer is not equipped to go with high res. So even with low res, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of detail in these guys. So, which is actually the reason why all those supports, and I actually try to cut it up, I try to break it off as they're supposed to be able to do, but they're just so compact, there's no way I can break them off of there. So this is what we're doing right now. This is why Totally Medieval is taking some time to get this out. It's just a long time to get all this perfected and make sure that everything is done 100% because we want to get you the best product possible. This is another one of the figurines. This is one of the priestess for the Vikings. This is like the bishop or clergy for the knights. But and then one last one. This is the Viking ship. So I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a ton of detail in the seats, the shields that are up there. Sadly, the sail did not print. It actually needs to be a little bit, the mask needs to be a little bit stronger, and the supports underneath it, there should have been more supports. So another one that we need to reprint. So this is a big process that we're going through, but it'll be well worth it when the game comes out. So please hang in there with us. We are coming out with Totally Medieval, and it is going to be totally awesome when it's done. So thanks again, everybody. And that's your sneak peek into Totally Medieval. In a few days, I'm actually going to give a sneak peek into how to play the game. I'm just waiting for the playmats to show up and the figurines to be finished and our prototype cards to arrive from the company. So I'm excited for that, and I'll catch you later, and I'll fill you in with more information. Check us out tomorrow with a sneak peek Thursday. Heck, I might just do a little bit then if the cards show up, which they're supposed to be here already. So I'm just waiting for those. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.